In this podcast episode, James interviews Tommie McDonald, a former porn producer, about his experiences in the industry and his decision to speak out against its dark side. McDonald shares his journey from a socially awkward young man to a successful porn producer, highlighting the influence of films like Boogie Nights and the allure of the industry's parties and lifestyle. McDonald explains that he initially started making homemade sex tapes with a female partner and quickly realized the potential for profit. They began charging subscriptions for their website, which featured homemade and more authentic-looking content compared to the slickly produced videos of other porn companies. McDonald and his partner eventually moved to Budapest, where they found model agencies and expanded their business. As the conversation progresses, McDonald delves into the inner workings of the porn industry and exposes some of its darker aspects. He acknowledges that while most people in the industry are good, there are instances of abuse and exploitation. He emphasizes that his intention is not to be anti-porn, as he has had positive experiences and formed close relationships within the industry. However, he believes it is important to shed light on the negative aspects and protect those who may be vulnerable. McDonald discusses the use of injections to maintain erections in male performers, highlighting the dangers and health risks associated with these practices. He explains that many men in the industry resort to injections to meet the demands of the job, but it can lead to serious complications and long-term damage. He also mentions that some male performers are unable to orgasm due to the effects of these injections. The conversation then turns to the treatment of women in the industry. McDonald acknowledges that there is a significant power imbalance and instances of abuse. He shares his own experience of initially dismissing allegations against well-known performers like Ron Jeremy and James Dean, but later realizing the importance of speaking out against such behavior. He criticizes the industry's tendency to protect abusers and silence victims, highlighting the need for change. McDonald also addresses the issue of consent in porn. He explains that while there is a gray area between porn and prostitution, the key difference lies in the intention behind the act. In porn, the focus is on creating content for the camera, whereas in prostitution, the focus is on pleasing the client. He acknowledges that there is overlap between the two, especially with the rise of platforms like OnlyFans, but emphasizes the importance of consent and boundaries. McDonald discusses his decision to speak out against the industry. He explains that he started a podcast aimed at helping men improve their relationships and sexual experiences. During an episode on rough sex, a porn star named Nelly shared her experiences of violence with Rocco Siffredi, a well-known porn actor and producer. When Nelly faced backlash and threats from Rocco and his agent, McDonald felt compelled to expose the truth. McDonald reveals that he discovered videos of Rocco engaging in non-consensual acts with women, which he describes as rape. He criticizes the distribution of these videos by Gamma Entertainment, one of the largest porn companies in the world. He also highlights the trauma experienced by the victims and the need for accountability within the industry. He discusses the prevalence of sex trafficking in Eastern Europe, particularly in countries like Russia and Ukraine, where organized criminals produce illegal porn videos and pay the girls very little. McDonald argues that any porn produced in these countries should be considered illegal content due to the exploitation and lack of safety for the girls involved. McDonald also sheds light on the practices of certain producers, such as Pierre Woodman and Rocco Siffredi, who engage in extreme and non-consensual acts with the girls they work with. He describes how these producers manipulate the girls, using agents to condition them and withhold information about the scenes until the day of shooting. This lack of informed consent and control over their own bodies leads to traumatic experiences for the girls involved. He emphasizes the need for better protection and support for these women, suggesting measures such as checking work permits, allowing models to withdraw consent after production, and holding producers accountable for their actions. McDonald also calls for a shift in immigration policies to provide legal routes for people to work and support their families, reducing the power of traffickers. McDonald acknowledges the positive aspects of the industry, such as the camaraderie and the opportunities for personal growth and learning about relationships. However, he also recognizes the harm and damage caused, particularly to vulnerable individuals who are drawn to the industry. He reflects on his own past involvement in the industry and the negative impact it had on his life. McDonald discusses his decision to quit drinking and how it has allowed him to focus on doing something meaningful and helping others. He hopes that his podcast, Lustcast, will shed light on the dark side of the industry and make a difference. McDonald addresses the issue of porn addiction, stating that excessive consumption of porn can lead to depression and negative effects on mental health. He also discusses the impact of sexualized images on platforms like Instagram, noting that the constant exposure to sexual content can have detrimental effects on individuals and society. McDonald acknowledges that while he wouldn't discourage others from entering the porn industry, he believes it is not good for one's well-being. He states that it can be a depressing and demotivating environment that negatively affects the brain and confidence. He believes that the short-term pleasure gained from watching porn is not worth the long-term negative effects it has on individuals. He admits that his perspective on the industry has shifted over time. Initially, he was defensive and dismissive of any criticism, believing that organizations like Layla or Exodus Cry were simply attacking the porn industry. However, he now realizes the importance of staying open-minded and considering different viewpoints. McDonald shares that he has personally benefited from reducing his consumption of porn. He claims that he feels better and that his life has improved since eliminating it from his routine. He believes that self-control and eliminating negative influences can lead to a more fulfilling life. The guest also discusses the potential positive aspects of porn. He believes that it can be healthy in moderation, as it exposes individuals to new ideas and can inspire creativity. He highlights the diversity within the industry and suggests that it can be a source of inspiration for individuals to explore with their partners. However, McDonald acknowledges that excessive consumption of porn can be detrimental. He believes that if it becomes a substitute for real relationships or is compulsively consumed, it can lead to addiction and negatively impact personal connections. He mentions that some women may be turned off by their partner's excessive porn consumption, leading to a loss of interest and connection. McDonald reflects on his own journey and how it has caused him to question his beliefs and reassess his identity. He used to introduce himself as a porn producer, but now he is unsure of who he is and what he truly believes. He emphasizes the importance of being open to change and admitting past mistakes in order to grow as a person. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.